Hey guys, you can probably hear my kid barking in the background. So as most of you know, I'm a full-time mom, full-time reseller, and the majority of my business is based off of donations. So my neighbors give me stuff all the time, which is great. Someone gave me this and it's fine. It's fine. It's a pink hoodie. I like that it's got that sort of open thing, but that's it. It's just fine. There's nothing really special about it. Plus it has this stain on the front that I cannot get out. So rather than throw it in a landfill, we're gonna do something different with it because I hate boring clothing and I hate throwing away clothing that just has one little imperfection. So we're gonna turn this into a distressed super crop top. So I started very simply by just laying it flat. And fortunately I have my daughter's washable markers, which are off camera. But I decided to go with the natural shape of the pink lettering there, because originally I was just going to crop this straight across, but I thought it would be much more interesting to go with the design of the piece itself. So I made it a high-low, and my daughter decided to help me. So she's the one you see in the corner. Anytime I'm coloring as she sees it, she wants to help me color. So I just cut according to the line I had just drawn. Usually I like to freehand things. I'm not good at freehanding things. So if you can, draw it out first. And you see me, I'm not big and fancy. I stole a washable marker from my kid. A lot of these projects are really easy to do, and I'm not good at following patterns. And this is basically trash clothing, so you get to play with it. Next step was really simple. I just cut along the line I had just drawn underneath that pink lettering, and then folded it over and cut the back out to be high-low as well. And I just tried to make sure that both sides were the same basic shape, and I cut off the bottom hem so that it would have that hemless feel. I like a rough hem. If you don't, you can really easily just fold it over and sew. This next step looks complicated, but it's actually pretty easy and fairly inexpensive. So I bought all of my embroidery supplies off of Amazon for $15, and nothing that I'm doing here is complicated. I'm just outlining, making little X's. You can get super into embroidery. It does not help to have a cat. I will tell you that now. But this is really, really, really basic stuff. And if you're a beginning embroiderer, projects like this are great because they're just no pressure. It's not starting out with doing an entire tapestry. It's just really, really basic, and you get to play with it. And this is the result of it just being cut and just having the embroidery. So before we do anything else. And even this is so cool. It's so unique. Every letter here is different. And no one else in the world is going to have this piece. Now, you guys know me. I have to distress it. That's my way. But even this is just much more interesting. And that's what I'm looking for in the clothing. But I'm seeing some additional flaws, so that means we have some additional work to do. But you could leave it just like this. Super cool. So the final step is just to do some very, very basic cutting. And most of what I'm doing here is actually just looking for flaws and cutting them out. I think you'll see in a second, I found a stain on one of the arms, so I just cut it off. And I tried something here and on the other side, and you're going to see very quickly, I decide to just turn this into a cold shoulder thing, partially to get rid of flaws, partially because I didn't like the cutting that I did on that. There I go. So that's another nice thing to remember is you don't have to go in completely with a plan, knowing exactly what you're going to do. I literally never do. And it's just added to the comfortable, slouchy overall feel of the piece. So I'm really, really happy with it. But I also love that you can go in with no plan and still end up with something that you really, really like. So I'm just keeping up that distressing on both sides. I did a little bit in the back, but I also want to keep this simpler, so I'm gonna stop pretty soon. But see, I'm just cutting that flaw out. Just removed it, and then you never have to think of it again. So this is a great way to upcycle those pieces that have one little thing wrong with it, and now you don't know what to do. But that's it. That's all the cutting I'm gonna do. So you guys know me, I'm going to work with bleach. Anytime you work with bleach, it's advisable to wear gloves. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated space, and label all of your bleach stuff. You never want to accidentally have somebody drink out of the cup that you put your bleach into. So I'm trying to see if I sped this up so that you guys can hopefully see the change a little bit. You probably won't. I hung this outside for a while, which is a great thing to do if you have a bleached piece and it's a really sunny day, because you can see it lightens a little bit here. You can see it a lot more when it's outside. And this is the finished piece. It still has that comfort that comes with pink. You still get that style of wearing a Victoria's Secret product, but this is so much more unique. And here's a close-up of the embroidery that I did. Again, not complicated, but it just gives it a much more interesting sort of DIY look. And overall, it's just a cooler piece. And why would you ever want to wear something that everybody else has when you can wear something as unique as you? I really hope you guys like this, and I hope you are inspired to try this for yourself. Please make your own. Follow me for more tips. Thanks.